I want to kick off with a confession time.
Correct.
So within the watch community, it is massively frowned upon owning a fake watch. But have either of you bought a fake watch before? For you to wear, not to examine or study.
For the intent of treachery, as in trying to genuinely trick people that it's real. Is that what you mean?
Potentially, yeah. Have you?
I actually, and I'm not pure as the driven snow in any way. As
We know that.
Yeah.
Last night proved that. Marcus told me.
I have not, but again, that is not because I've told this story I think before. In episode 1, I talked about wanting a Tag Heuer knockoff so bad. I was at Caulfield Grammar School in 1992, and everyone had been to Bali for summer, and I'd been to Cobram, which is somewhat less glamorous than Bali. It's like a wheat belt, dry, dusty town that I grew up in. It was not a good holiday place. But they did have a good caravan park, but where we stayed. So I'm revealing my luxurious roots, but I desperately wanted one, and I didn't have the money to buy even a knockoff in school. So no, I haven't, but that doesn't make me pure. Have you, George?
I brought quite a few. And the reason my ego feels so amazing when I see a knockoff, because I'll tell you a little bit of a story. I was on the beach on holiday, and this person came up with this kind of rack of
those coats.
Oh no! But he came up with this kind of rack of things. And he was going through. He just went, I've got some watches. And there was a this. He said, I've got a Bamford. And I went, what the f***?
Excuse me?
And anyway, he then went to me and said, I've got a Bamford. And my ego felt so freaking good at that time. It just felt good.
You've screwed up my whole jam. Thanks very much.
Okay, so
thank you very much.
And so then I kept on going to different fake markets. I've even got the dial of one, because I got rid of them, but we've got the dial of a fake that sits here. But the thing is, I then went to different fake markets and found some of these pieces, and it wasn't that thing of saying to you, I want to buy a fake watch. It wasn't. My ego just was like, wow, it's this much, and you've got. But to see some of the level that they did on the quality, that was the thing. This is a pile of shit. But what I mean is, it looks good from the distance.
Yeah.
But the illume's wrong. The bum 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 bum. But I was like, but I took them to bits. I used to just love just stripping them. I never wore one.
Yeah.
But because my ego is one of those things.
And that's why that's stripped, right? That's one of the ones you took apart.
No, and cases are gone. We smashed. We use the cases.
What is the movement? What did they use?
I don't know. I think it's a Chinese. Something.
Tiny.
It's a tiny little movement, and there was weight inside the case. So in the back of the case. But what I did was on these, because they were using surgical steel on quite a few of them, we used to just use them for testing. So when we were doing new coatings or new things,
you test them on the fakes.
Yeah, test them on the fakes.
So the reason I throw this down, like, it's just I don't really play poker or anything, but I throw that down as a trump card, is because I was like, ha, look at this. You've stolen my thunder. But my brother has moved to Bali to live. He's living the dream.
Lucky him.
I know. And he was on the beach, and someone came up to him, not with one, but a briefcase of one model. The Bamford Milgauss. So have a look at that and tell me if you would have been fooled.
No, because it's wrong bezel.
Okay, what else?
No, instantly you can just see that the bezel side is wrong. And you know, there's a few things that you'd go, and also the Illuminus is shite, and there's a few things. But what I would say to you is, Monaco. You know, I'm seeing, when we're starting searching for this, when we're starting searching for this, I'm going to take this out of the way.
Yep.
This watch that is the real watch. This is one of the prototypes. this watch, I now am on the internet. Because you asked to do some research, I was on the internet and I saw this watch for sale on the internet.
Yeah.
I've seen this watch as well for sale on the internet. Now, I don't. Firstly, this is impossible to try and fake because it's forged carbon.
Yeah.
The lips, but you can see it has been faked because the photograph. I thought it was.
So it's a photograph of a fake.
Of a fake because they always put real. There's loads of things on that, but the stepped side of the case is not stepped. And that's where I'm saying to you is, like, even when we talk about, you're going to talk about this being fake, but even there's a Mr. Porter Zenith that we did with a blue dial, solar blue, that I just found on the internet this morning.
In research.
In research. And I'm just like going, there's some of these watches I'm going, well, we only made 25 of those.
Yeah.
So where, what, how, and there's those type of things of like, where does this happen? I mean, the Snoopy Frank Muller that we did, we only did a small number of them, and already I've seen a Snoopy Frank Muller fake.
It's crazy how quickly it's happening too.
On the internet.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to say is, don't buy from the internet. Don't buy from the street sale. Don't, because I brought it because my ego. I felt like I've made it.
Yeah.
I know that sounds strange.
But that's a weird. It's a weird connection, isn't it? It's that whole thing that there's flattery in what's the phrase?
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
That's exactly that, and so there is a weird thing that massages your ear in a very small fashion. There's people use on Alibaba. People use my NATO straps to advertise their NATO straps. I think at first I was pissed off. I thought, all right.
But you had the same little ego.
But they're using that as a barometer of quality. And so I can absolutely appreciate when you see your watch being faked online that actually it's one of those weird things. Before we get into that, I want to discuss
and tell your dark secret. So George is yes because it was he bought
Oh,
a van,
okay.
So no because I couldn't afford it.
When I was about 15, I bought a fake Tag Heuer. This was my dream watch as a kid. I used to obsess about this.
I love the bracelet on it.
At the time, I loved it. Now I think it's fucking horrible.
No, I love the bracelet on this. I'm gonna be buying a bracelet. Subdials are like the Swatch Omega.
So my dad was stationed in Turkey, in Incirlik, in the late 90s. And I went out to see him, and there was a strip, and it was just tradition to buy a fake watch. And at the time, I knew exactly which hands. There was a whole cabinet full of Breitlings, Tags, Rolexes. I knew which handsets were right, and I could identify which watches were the closest to the original.
AA quality?
Oh no, not quite that size.
But I remember when you go in there, like, this is AA, this is AA, this is also this is AAA, this is AA, and then this is A, this is a pile of shit right to the back. Bamford's with a pile of shit to the back. So just.
But they had Tag Heuer with Breitling hands. But it was. I like the fact that I could identify like that. But I bought one of these. It was about $20. And
how old were you?
15.
15.
Went back to school, boarding school, and for probably about a week, I felt pretty cool having a tag on the wrist. At the airport on the way back from Turkey, I went to the tag dealer and said, "I got a tag chronograph." He said, "Oh no, nice, it's nice." It's like didn't recognise it was full. Yeah. So I thought, cool, game on. But I felt dirty, and I swapped it for my mate who wanted it. He had a true animal watch, and I thought that was much cooler. So I swapped this for an animal watch because I just felt like a bit of a prick because I wasn't a Tag Heuer owner. It was fake. So that was when I was 15. At the time, I identified that this was representing something who I wasn't, and I was much happier with this animal watch.
So that feeling you had and that experience you had with wearing a fake is kind of where this whole discussion is centered around, isn't it? Yeah. Because like I can imagine, George, you've never quite done it. So a lot of our audience will have done this and relate to what you said, but we'll get into that deeper a little bit later. I did just want to chip in and say the same. I wanted to add another dimension to this whole thing about...
Sorry, who wears this watch?
The Greek Prime Minister.
What? Really?
So this watch was, I think, around about £9,000. And on Chrono,
We've got the blue right, but
I haven't got no. Well, that's actually a render, I'm pretty sure. But this is part of the problem. So at the moment, if you go on Chrono 24, there's one Night Surfer with a completely absurd price tag on it. So this watch is just unattainable. And my CFO, just want to point out, the internal talk at Time and Tide was not.
Got mortgage to pay, bro.
Thanks, Matt. I probably should have scrubbed names out, but Matt works for us. This was not where we landed. This is my CFO who says, this is the stupidest thing I've seen in a long time, maybe ever. So there was no internal high fives and back celebration, but that's what leads to this. The sheer unattainability of things leads to people potentially, I mean, this is a fair discount though. But just to explain our process here, I am not very intelligent at times and I can jump at things. Thank you very much. .watches.com. No, I thought, quick, we'll buy it, we'll get it in, we'll have a look at it. And I started, tap, buy. And my CFO, who wrote the stupidest thing ever, jumps in and says, stop, what are you doing? This is clearly a scam. There's no picture of the watch. They haven't actually made it. This is like a scam bot type thing where we enter our details and then for the next 3 days, we're having, groceries purchased.
Your credit card's done.
In Lithuania. My credit card's done. So there's a lot of dimensions to this because I think your point about don't do it for reasons, I can add a reason. Don't do it because I'm sure that if you go to, I won't say where this is, but if you bought this watch for $220, you will not receive the watch almost certainly. And you are likely to be scammed. Hi there. Like and subscribe. We watch that count and we really draw a lot of confidence and love from it. So thank you.
Cool.
Well said.
Rock and roll.
All right.
See you guys next time.
See you next time.
Take care.